What's up guys, Scotty here from a Blue Coconut family and welcome back to City Skylines. Today we're going to be continuing our look into transportation within Sunset Harbour. So Sunset Harbour has added in a ton of new features which we'll cover in other videos. But today we're going to be covering helicopters. So helicopters is one of the new transport methods that they've added into Sunset Harbour, and you know what, it's probably out of the ones they've added, it's the one I have the least amount of issues with. We'll get on to trolley buses in another video. But helicopters, you know, fair enough in big cities and in places with a lot of high wealth people, so your big cities, your big towns, things like that, then you can understand helicopters are kind of common. You know, examples I can think of is throughout London, there are helicopter ports along the River Thames, and a lot of kind of the big skyscrapers do have heliports on their roofs. So fair enough, you can sort of see that. Now, the game hasn't added any of the ability to have kind of helicopters landing on the roofs. That's only so far reserved for hospitals, but it does have heliports in here. So if you did want that ability to have you know, helicopters flying around your city, you now do. So let me just talk you into these. So they've modelled this after the blimps that were added within mass transit. Now, I didn't really enjoy blimps. I didn't really find a proper use for them within the cities, but helicopters I can see a little bit more. So in the way I've say they've modelled them after blimp, so you have a couple of types of buildings. So you can find them under your plane or aircraft, which I think they should rename it to be. And you've got this. You've got your helicopter depot, your helicopter stop, and that's it. And you also, there you go, you've got your helicopter pathway, and then you then do have your helicopter line. So the way how I say they've modelled it after blimps is you have a depot here, which all your helicopters for all your lines will come out of. So this has to be connected to a line somewhere. You then also have the pathway. So this is a bit like building a road for a bus or a train line for the train. You can build these anywhere and multiple lines can use them, but they aren't necessarily your line. So you could just basically, you build like a point to point where your helicopters will go and they will all follow that route, but then you can have multiple lines in there and they can spur off anywhere. Your depot has to be connected to that at some point, and then you can have your stops along the way. Now, in one of the previous videos, we looked at the Metropolitan Airport hub, which they added in Sunset Harbour as well, along with all the other hubs. And you can see here that we've got this pink line here. Now, this in fact is actually the helicopter pathway. Now, if you watch that video, link in the top, you'll see that it's actually got two helicopter landing pads in it, which is quite cool. And it's got this track here for us to use. So with that in mind, we're going to build a helicopter route to get people from the city to the Metropolitan Airport without having to go along the motorway and down the little road here. So what you want to do is, first of all, find a space to put your helicopter depot. Now, I recommend putting this somewhere where it's out of the way. It's not going to cause too many issues because, you know, people don't need to come here. It's nothing that important for your city. So I'm going to place it next to the prison because this is kind of like out of the way. There's nothing really around here. So we can see here, you know, helicopters receive maintenance at the depot, and the depot sends out vehicles automatically. So this isn't a stop. That's something to get into mind. This isn't where people go as a stop to go pick up their helicopter. No, this is just where they get launched from. So it's like having a bus depot and things like that. You just pull it out of the way, but somewhere connectable. Okay. Next, we're going to have a look at some stops. So you can see that the footprint of these is actually quite small. They're a lot smaller than the blimps were. So what I want to do is I want to place a couple of these around the city. So I'm going to place one in here. I'm going to place one into this part of the city. Ooh, find a nice spot for it. Oh, is that? There you go. One there. Yeah, I want one over this way. There you go. Got one there. And I think, so we've got 1, 2, 3. This is quite a nice area up here. So I'm going to place one over there. And then now you've done that, now we need to join these all up with some of these pathways. So we're going to ignore the depot for the moment because we don't really want that on the main path because it's not really connected. So let's go for what we think is going to be like the route of the helicopters through the city. So I'm going to keep them to follow the road. So I'm going to go into this mode. And we're just going to get it to follow the road, just like so. Just roughly follow the road. Not perfectly, but just enough, just from end to end of the road. And then what we're going to do from there is we're just going to spur off to our stops, just like so. Just so that then helicopters travelling along that main bit of the road can then head off. Ooh, just like that. Ooh, there we go. Now I don't understand why it says that, oh, you can't do, something's in the way. It's a path, there's nothing physically being placed. Why are you moaning about it? Now what we're going to do is we're going to continue to connect up these. So we're going to then spur it off here, I think. It also moans if you place it above water when you're building in water, which I do find a bit weird. Right, so that's the path there. So you can see how we build that. It's very similar to roads. You don't really need to worry about it getting stuck on things. It can say it from time to time, but it's not a massive deal. But what you want to do is mainly think about, what's its aesthetic going to look like? What's it going to be when your helicopters are flying across your city? Do you want them going across the buildings or whatever? So I've chosen a road because I know that it'd be quite nice to see the helicopters all funneling down the road. Right. So now we've done that, let's build our helicopter lines. This is exactly how you'd think it would be. This would be, like you would be building a bus line, and how you'd be building a train line. They're all the same in City Skylines. So what you do is you literally build them to go from point 1 to point 2 and back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple which are just, a couple which are just normal, and then going to do this one and this one to be linked. So this one to be another independent, just like so. And then this one, we are actually going to have it double up. So here, and then it's going to come over to here, and then it's going to continue down to here. Did it do that? No, not yet. Come on. Oh, is it struggling? Maybe it won't do it. There we go. Let's try. Let's try from this way. Is it struggling to find it? Okay, well that's fine. If we have this, so what we're going to do is just link up the side. Maybe it's just can't do that way round. I'll do it for this one as well. Maybe it's just struggling to keep up. Maybe that angle's too sharp. I don't know. Let's have a look. So we'll go from there. There you go. We can see that's connected. And then we're going to come back via this one. Then add stop. Then come back to here. Okay. And then we can just, there we go. So we now see, oh, we've got, oh, there we go. We should have 4 sets of, no, 3 sets, because we've got 4 stops, 3 lines of our helicopters, which we're going there. Now, your helicopter is not flying yet, because we haven't added the depot. And all we have to do is just the same way how we do the others. Get the line, and then connect it in. Once you've done that, you will then see your helicopters start flying. Just like so, and like always, your lines are coloured, your helicopters within the transport thing will be coloured. They also show off the colours on the outside of the aircraft as well, which is quite cool. Oh. I'm assuming they just literally just stopped. I'm assuming that's a bug. We're now building a helicopter tower. Let's delete some of these. Maybe they're just bugged. But yeah, then what you're going to have. Oh, there you go. Now they're fine. I think they're just, oh, I think they're probably just waiting for the line to be clear or something. Who knows? But what we can see there is the helicopters now flying through the city, going to their individual stops, and I think that looks really quite cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If it's been useful for you guys, hit that like button. Yeah, also subscribe. Yeah, helicopters are good. Only can carry up to 20. It's not a huge amount of deal, but it's good for your rich and famous for your city. So yeah, please post photos on our Facebook page of what you do with your helicopters. I'd like to see what you guys do with them. It'd be really interesting to know. So Blue Coconut Family on Facebook. But yeah, I've been Scotty from Blue Coconut Family. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.